Hey, hi everybody. Peace, peace. Hello, America. Welcome to the Wendy Bell Radio Show. So excited to have you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh my goodness, do we have a packed show for you today? We've got Tom Wolf, our governor here in the land before time, waving his magic wand. What's up, Chrissy? Hi, Lee. Monique. Prius boy. I won't say anything about the Prius boy. We'll just let that one go. Good to see you guys. We're going to let some folks tune in before we get rolling hot and heavy, right? Oh my goodness. Is Pennsylvania the biggest dumpster fire of all? Like I've just been saying, this place, I love Pennsylvania. This is the most ridiculously run state in the United States of America. I'm even going to say it's worse than California. And that's saying something because this governor is he's out of his mind, but actually he's not. This is all very structured. It's all very planned. So you guys, right? The big news breathlessly reported last night. Oh my God, the shutdown. You're not going to be able to do anything. Now I have not paid attention. I don't watch the news. I don't believe in the news. The news lost me when they lost their credibility. A long time ago. And that happened when I was on the news, right? Fighting for credibility. I'm over it. So I have friends calling. They're like, yeah, did you hear about the new lockdown? Yeah. Well, apparently everything, right? Everything shut down. Your freedom, gone. You're not allowed to hang out with family members, ladies and gentlemen. If you do what my family does, what the O'Toole family does, and mooch off of Grandma O'Toole every Sunday and have her make a big meal, and all of us go over there and mooch off of her generosity and drink beer from her fridge, you can't do that anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Says who? Says who? And how do you enforce such a ridiculous edict? Well, now the governor is saying, no, this isn't happening. Well, it's not happening yet. So it's not happening today, but it's going to happen tomorrow or Friday, right? So let's not get our boxers in a bunch too soon. We're going to talk a little bit about masks and about that in just a minute. Want to thank, obviously, Advanced Integrative Medical 360. You guys, this is the greatest idea ever. You're so tired of the typical gifts that you give people you love, particularly the women in your life. Why not give the woman in your life a gift certificate to Advanced Integrative Medical 360? $99. What does that get you? That gets your friend, maybe your mom, your wife, your sister, a friend. Heck, get one for them, get one for you. It gets you a complete biomarker panel blood draw, right? They're going to test you for more than 50 biomarkers, more than a dozen hormones, right? And they're going to tell you what's going on inside your system, and they're going to give you a non-drug way to feel better. It's awesome, Dr. Darren Dubiak. Absolutely love Dr. Darren Dubiak. Advanced Integrative Medical 360. Check them out. 3 Pittsburgh locations. I'm telling you, thousands of dollars of lab work for $99. And while we're thinking about that special lady in your life, I've got a ladies only special. And this is courtesy of my new sponsor, the Wolfpack Boxing Club. How cool is this, right? You want to get in shape, right? Oh, my kids, when I go like that, they duck. Oh yeah, they do. How about this special? Sign up for their introductory boxing class. And this doesn't mean you're going to have to punch somebody in the face. No, you're going to learn how to move. You're going to get fit. You're going to lose calories, right? Bring a friend. She can try it out for free. 2 for the price of 1. Wolfpack Boxing Club. They offer more than 50 hours of classes every single week. It's a great facility. 6,500 square feet of space, I think they said, right? Right. State-of-the-art facility. You bring your sneakers, you bring you and a friend, $50 value, ladies. Get it. Wolfpack Boxing Club. All right, so before I bring in my guest, because we're going to be talking about selective censorship. Wow, I'm censored in a big way. Look at our numbers. What are we? This is my 50-year-old eyes. 3,200 people. We used to get 5,000, 7,000 people on a good day. Thanks, Facebook. Nice job. We're going to talk about selective censorship in just a minute. But first, all right, so here in the land before time, we're bracing for it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the governor has said in his press conference on Monday. He and Dr. Rachel Levine, the health secretary, only in the land before time. Can you get a pediatric, eating disorder doctor to be your secretary of health? Because she knows so much about infectious diseases. Got it. Good call. So they hinted at this on Monday. Look, people aren't following the rules. You're not wearing your masks. We don't want to do this, but you've given us no choice, Pennsylvania. You still resist the rules. You aren't wearing your masks. This is because of you. And it hurts us to do this. We know this is going to be brutal. But all of you walking around, I said it yesterday. How many of you have been somewhere in public where somebody's not been wearing a mask? Look, I think masks are useless, but I abide by the rules anywhere I go. The only place I don't wear a mask is inside my home, outside when I'm doing yard work, and when I'm outside walking my dog, nowhere near another breathing human being, right? So before I get to the guest, I want to read this to you. So we've been told that in Pennsylvania, they've got this huge spike in cases. If you believe the health department. So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt, okay? They're telling us that we've had 990 new deaths recently over the last couple days. That's astonishing. That's stunning, right? Well, I want to tell you something. Just down the street at Carnegie Mellon University, there's this little niche group called the Delphi Research Group. They're based out of Carnegie Mellon University. And what they do is they do surveys all around the country to see who's complying with the mask mandates. Do you guys want to know what percentage of Pennsylvanians are wearing their masks as good little boys and girls, as we all do whenever we're out in public? What percent? What do you think? 70%? I mean, judging from what the governor says, we'd think like 30% because we're at fault. How about this? According to the Delphi Group, 93.65% of Pennsylvanians are wearing masks always. And yet we have this uptick in cases and this uptick in deaths. Why? Because the masks don't work. They don't work. Doctors will tell you the masks don't work. People walking around with a face shield, it doesn't work. It's a virus. And this is virus time of year. We're going to get the virus. So what do? Protect the elderly, protect the sick, and then live your life. And if you have a governor like we do here in Pennsylvania who wants to tell you how to live your life, scratch your head and say to yourself, not on my watch. Last time I checked, this is still the United States of America. All right. Whew. Initial rant done. I want to get to my first guest. His name is Alan Lee. He's neat. I dig him. And if you guys don't check him out on the Patriot perspective, you should. Hello, my dear. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. All right. So you and I have a bit of a history. We met at a Trump rally several months ago over the summertime, and you reached out to me. We share basic things in common. Mm-hmm. We love America. We support this president. We believe in the rights of the unborn. We love our veterans. We stand for the flag. Yes?
Yes.
And you and I are both being censored. Why don't you give them a little idea, the folks who are watching, what happened to you, sir?
So I run a podcast show, and just to try and help, fund a lot of what we do, being on scene, like we'll be in DC this weekend and things like that, we decided to start selling some T-shirts. And so I came up with a couple different ideas for some T-shirts, and I sell them on my website. And then Amazon gives you a way to cross-sell on their platform.
Okay.
So all you do is you upload your designs. It's really simple. They take care of the printing, the shipping, and they like to promote it for people who are either small-time business owners, and then obviously during the pandemic, a way to generate some income.
Great.
So I uploaded one of my designs I had come up with. It was, I thought it was kind of funny. Also had a little conservative spin to it.
Oh, I got to see it. Show me.
Yeah. So it was just a red T-shirt, and it says, "If this shirt turns blue, please report it stolen. Hashtag stop the steal." So every design you upload goes through a little approval process, takes about a day and a half, and then it goes live. Well, this one did not go live. They sent me an email stating that the image was rejected, and they stated in the email 2 links, which both went to the same page. There was their content policy, and then they highlighted and sent a link to the direct violation that they called it, and it was 2.6, promotion of violence.
Wait, what?
2.6 promotion of violence.
So they say if this shirt turns blue, reported stolen, promotes violence.
Yes.
How?
So that's what I wanted to know. So
Good.
when I responded to the email, which I don't think that most people do when they get rejected, but I did, and I tried to be as kind as possible. And I said, can you explain to me in detail how this shirt promotes violence? And so knowing that random people, it could have been any type of thing that censored it. It might not have been in person. So I wrote what the shirt said, the color of the shirt, that it was a funny spin on the current situation that's going on. I would like to know how it promotes violence. So they wrote back and they said that, and it seemed like it might have been an auto-generated email, but it said that the shirt was removed and banned for promoting violence. And then that's pretty much all it said. And then underneath it said, "Are you happy with your response? Click here. Are you not happy? Click here."
No. You don't want to offer me that option.
Right. So I clicked no, and all the different questions it had, I gave them 1 star. And then I decided to write another email to them. And I said, I received more words stating this. And I said, where in your right mind does this promote violence? I said, there's no way. And if you read what it says on our website, promoting violence is attacking and causing harm to another group, sex trafficking, human trafficking, promoting the death of someone. So I got an email back moments later, and they said that they were going to be forwarding my email up the chain of command. So I said, great. 2 days later, I get the final determination, and it says they deemed that their decision was correct, that the shirt does promote violence, and they furthermore would not be responding to any more of my claims.
Wow. So thanks for playing shut up and go away. We don't like you. You're a patriot. You're a Republican, obviously.
Yep.
Right? So you don't matter. Holy cow. Now, wait a minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, my man, but I have seen some really raunchy, gross, pro-violence crap pushed by the left on Amazon. Am I the only one?
Not at all. I have here, there's, so a buddy of mine decided to do a search, and we brought up a couple of different shirts, and all you have to do is type in violent shirts on Amazon. One of them being "I love violence," another shirt stating "I am comfortable with violence," another one stating "I am only here for the violence." These are the things that you can get on Amazon, no problem, and they're all by different companies, and the list goes on. I mean, there's a long list of shirts that from "If you get in my way, I'll punch you in the face," all types of stuff.
Oh, how about the shirts that promote violence against this president?
Right.
That's okay. Alan, hold up your shirt one more time so folks who are just joining the stream can see what it says. One more time, because this is apparently so violent, it's been banned from Amazon. If this shirt turns blue, please report it stolen. Stop the steal. La, 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 la. You're not allowed to question the integrity of this election, sir. I'm sorry.
And one of the things that aggravates me so much is, and I didn't like it from the very beginning of the term, the silent majority, because I believe that we should have never been silent. And I think that's why we got to where we're at today. But now, because we've remained silent for so long, the left is just blatant with it. I mean, they could have, they're Amazon. They're a private company, even though they're in the public sector. They have the right to reserve anything for any reason. They could have just said, we're just removing the design because we don't like it. But instead, they actually have the nerve to say it promotes violence.
Right.
Clearly knowing that they have other products that promote violence. So, but they don't care. You only try and hide things or word things a proper way when you feel like you need to hide something. But they don't feel the need to hide anymore. And it's because we've remained silent for too long. I
agree. 100%. So are you dropping the issue? Are you moving into something else? Or what are you going to do?
I am not dropping the issue. I have been contacting everyone I can imagine. Every time I post, I tag Amazon on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. I write on their wall pretty much 3 times a day. I am trying to get the word out there. Being a what they would consider a Black African American conservative, and they're silencing. Not only silencing the right side, but they're also, during a pandemic that everyone's freaking out about, harming income. for no reason whatsoever and can't even give me any type of logical idea. They could have made up anything to why they thought it could promote violence, but they're not going to respond to my claims anymore.
Right. So not only do we have selective censorship with big tech, I mean, look, Alan, look at our governor. Look at what's going on now where he gets to select winners and losers who get to be open, who get to be closed. Because you know as well as you've been following these rumors of the shutdown. And we think it's going to happen probably on Friday. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes.
Yep.
And it's going to be the same suspects who are going to close. It's going to be the bars, the restaurants, the gyms, the salons, the barbers. But the big box stores who have the lawyers who can fight this and fight this governor can stay open, right? Yep. And so again, it's the selective winners and losers. And I don't know about you, I'm tapped out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so over their overreach. They want to set these mandates in place that aren't even legal. They want to tell Americans that, this last night on the news, they were saying, we believe that the spike in COVID now is because of Thanksgiving. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to break down the American family, Western values, and they're trying to make everyone reliant on the government. Because when you're relying on the government for your well-being, for your homes, for your businesses, for putting food on the table, when you're relying on them, most people have no leg to stand on. Most people aren't able to or aren't willing to make that final sacrifice of saying, I would rather starve today than give you more power.
Yes.
And they know that. Even the people who are headstrong, God bless them. At some point, most people will cave when you're put under this type of pressure. And that they don't care how they get the power, as long as the people need to rely on them. That is what they want to do.
I agree. How do people get your shirt? I want the shirt.
You can go to thepatriotperspective.com and you can buy it right there on the website. Keep
fighting, my man.
Thank you.
I love your fight, and this whole thing has been sickeningly obvious. They're not even ashamed to try to hide it. It's overt, it's in your face, and you, sir, don't matter.
And it's funny because I have some coworkers who, they're on the left pretty much straight down the board. But when I told them the story about the shirt, they're like, well, I don't like the shirt, but there's no reason it should have gotten banned. And people
what's there not to like about the stupid shirt?
Well, some people don't think this election was stolen. Some people don't think that.
Yeah, because they're watching CNN. They're watching the local news.
Right. And most people are seeing that there's fraud going on, because that's pretty much proven. You have to literally just be one of those never truth type people to think that no fraud. Now, you might want to argue about whether there was enough in this state to overturn that or that.
Right.
But there was fraud that happened on a large scale.
And we should not be okay with any level of fraud, sir.
No. And at this point, I care who wins because of what we need for our country.
Right.
But this fight is about getting our election process back in order.
Amen. Alan, and I love that you just segued into my BS board, because I've got some more proof of fraud, sir. Thank you very much. You keep in touch with me. Deal?
Yes, will do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So go to the Patriot Perspective if you guys want to learn more, if you want to get that shirt. Isn't he awesome? I met him. He's such a neat guy. I got a picture of him actually on wendybell.com. Go to my website. I want you guys to go there because I've got businesses that I support who are fighters, like Alan was just talking about. Go to wendybell.com and look at those businesses that are fighting tooth and nail to stay open. They know how to operate safely. They've done it for years. Many have done it for generations. It doesn't take an overreaching blockhead governor to come in and tell us how we need to behave. That is offensive. That is un-American. One of my favorite sponsors there is Tom Yakupin from West Penn Life and Health. And, we don't think about the future enough. We don't think about planning for tomorrow, planning for what might happen to us. Take COVID out of this mess. Take this economic hardship, if you will, out of this mess. On a good day, you need to have a contingency plan. You need to make sure you're covered for the unthinkable. And that's life insurance. You need to make sure you're covered for when you get sick. And that's health insurance. And Tom Yakupin and his team at West Penn Life and Health are experts at this. They are honest. They listen to what your needs are. They get you a plan that fits within your budget, and they save you between 25 and 50%. Sit down with Tom Yakupin from West Penn Life and Health. And as you're thinking about planning, don't forget John D'Onofrio. He's the estate lawyer I trust. It costs you nothing to sit down and say, how do I go about connecting these dots? I've worked all my life, or I'm just starting, but I've got little kids and I need to make sure that they're covered. Again, if something happens to me, make sure you have a plan, an estate plan, a trust. And the man I trust is lawyer John D'Onofrio. Go to my website, wendybell.com, and you'll get more information about all my sponsors. Thanks to Ireland Contracting too. Gotta love Ireland Contracting. You know, I just talked to Diane Ireland yesterday on the phone. And, their family is struggling with COVID. They feel kind of lousy, but they're doing well. They're muddling through this. And she said, you know what? If people call 1-800-NEW-ROOF right now, they can lock in 2020 prices for their 2021 projects. Home exterior stuff, folks. If you've got a plan, hell, you're not going on vacation anytime soon anyway. Why not plan for that home exterior project? Call Diane Ireland at Ireland Contracting. Go to wendybell.com for more. Okay, so Alan was talking about fraud proof. Look, I'm not cool with any amount of fraud, and it's so interesting that any call to legitimize or secure our election system is met by the left and their claims of racism, their claims of discrimination, right? How is it possible that the Census Bureau can go out and conduct door-to-door census investigations on who lives where and how long they've lived there and what they look like and what their income level is, but we can't enact voter ID? That's discriminatory. Are you kidding? To give some semblance of here you go. They have voter ID, ladies and gentlemen, in Afghanistan. This is the United States of America. And we can't validate the individuals in this country like that without the left trying to tell us that for some reason that's discriminatory. Why would they say that? Because it is through the election system that they can push what their lack of ideas cannot. When you have losing candidates and losing platforms and losing ideas and you're losers, the only way for you to win is to cheat. And the only way for rampant, widespread cheating is through our elections. How many of you bet that the elections that we've had in the past, just not local and statewide, but general elections, have been tainted or absolutely saturated with fraud? I got some new information, new election fraud information out of Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, you know as well as I that I dig for the left that says there's not enough to see here. These are blatantly false, unproven, baseless claims. Bull. 2,560 felons voted in Georgia. 66,247 underage voters voted in Georgia. If you're 15, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have the right to vote. And yet more than 66,000 underage voters did. These are fresh numbers, by the way. 2,423 voters who weren't registered in Georgia voted in Georgia anyway. 1,043 people voted with post office boxes as their homes. That's illegal. That's against the law. They did it anyway. Baseless claims. There's nothing to see here. 4,923 registered in a different state and voted in Georgia. 15,700 had moved out of state before the election and still voted in Georgia. 395 voted in Georgia and somewhere else. I don't know. I'm special. My vote counts twice. Awesome. 40,279 people who moved but didn't re-register in their new state voted anyway in Georgia. And between 30 and 40,000 absentee voters who voted by absentee ballot did so without signature verification, which is against the law in Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Ding, 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 ding. What's Joe Biden's margin of victory in Georgia again? What's that you say? 12,670 votes he allegedly won by? Well, if you add up all of this jazz, which isn't just isolated oopsies, there was a glitch. Oops, we didn't check that. This is rampant. Possible fraud votes, 168,570. Ladies and gentlemen, I will say that again. What was Joe Biden's alleged margin of victory? 12,670. Add up all the BS votes, all the people who shouldn't have voted, all the people who voted twice, all the people who moved. And I didn't even throw in the dead voters. I thought we'd let them rest in peace today. All the fraudulent votes, possibly fraudulent votes, Facebook, 168,570. That's 13 times greater than the margin of victory we're told Joe Biden won by. 13 times. Do you think that's worthy of an investigation? Do you think that's a reason why the Attorney General in Texas has filed a lawsuit all the way up to the Supreme Court against Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania? And we're going to get into all of that because I saw some very interesting similarities. And you have to kind of scratch your head and you say to yourself, now wait a minute. Is this just really coincidental? I don't believe in coincidence, actually. I know a lot of you don't either. Is this really coincidental that all these things went down at the same time in the same Democrat areas? Or is it a concerted effort to steal an election and undermine every valid vote cast in America? You realize that fraud that happens in Georgia or here in the land before time isn't just impactful in those states. It dilutes the value of every legal vote out there. And I find it so intriguing that whatever Texas does, they seem to not have these problems. I wonder why that is. And I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. You know, if and when, and it's going to happen, I guarantee you, it's Friday, tomorrow or Friday, that the governor is going to shut down Pennsylvania. And it's going to happen in other states too. And small business owners, well, businesses are going to scramble to do whatever they can to stay afloat. This is the time to get somebody like Doug Rosensteel on your side and pick up the phone and call BHD Technologies and say, Doug, when I come out of this, if I come out of this, I can't have my people wasting time. I can't have duplicitous jobs being done. I can't have 2 weeks from order placement to order delivery. I can't have more people than I can afford when I can carve things down and lean my business. It's called lean technology. And that's what BHD Technology does. BHD Technologies. They will come to you for 2 days and they will watch what you do. And he'll give you all the pointers that you need to make your business more efficient. And you don't pay a penny. BHD Technologies. Go to wendybell.com for more. Okay. So as I said, kind of interesting. Not really interesting. It's total BS, and it's blatant BS that we're told to suck up, shut up, and accept. And it's at the Secretary of State level. I'm not talking just Democrats. I'm talking corruption that knows no political boundary, because corruption is corruption. And when you can be bought, doesn't matter how you vote or what political party letter is after your name. You're corrupt. And I find something very interesting going on with the secretaries of state of 3 of the 4 states that the Attorney General in Texas is suing. This is what the lawsuit alleges. The Attorney General in Texas alleges that Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan used the Chinese virus pandemic, let's call it what it is, all of you with sensitivities, you know, it is what it is, used the pandemic to unlawfully change election laws and supersede state legislatures. And they want the Supreme Court to direct the state legislators to appoint new electors. That's as simple as that. You guys changed the rules. You weren't allowed to. You did it anyway. Now we have a complete crap storm of malfeasance and fraud. And you cannot certify with any reasonable validity your election results. Well, you know, if you're Brad Raffensperger in Georgia, you fast track it anyway, because I think somebody's gotten to him. Here's the proof. In this lawsuit, the Attorney General of Texas alleges, listen to the commonalities. In Pennsylvania, Secretary of State Kathy Boockvar, who's been MIA since the election, broke the law. She did three things. One, she established that signatures on the outside of the ballots were unlawful. We don't have to verify that this vote by me actually matches my signature on file. She just poof, did away with that before the election. Interesting. I wonder why. Number two, that she had extended the mail-in ballot deadline by 3 days. By law, ballots were expected to be received by 8 p.m. on election day. She pushed that back without verification, without passage in the state legislature, 3 days. Not allowed to do that. Number three, she urged officials to let people, Democrat voters primarily, whose ballots were messed up, to cure or to come in and fix those ballots. You're not allowed to do that either. Listen to the similarities now with Georgia and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who is a Republican. This lawsuit alleges, one, he made it more difficult to reject suspect signatures by changing the signature verification requirements, just like Kathy Boockvar. That sounds very coincidental. Or was it a concerted effort? Two, that he allegedly allowed 80,000 ballots with forged signatures to be accepted. That's a big allegation. 80,000 signatures forged? And they've got proof of this, according to the Texas Attorney General. When you dicker with signature verification requirements before the biggest election, before any election, you're not allowed to do that. That was illegal. Those results should not count. They need to allow Pennsylvania and Georgia legislatures to pick the electors who will choose who won in their state, Donald Trump or Joe Biden. We're not done yet. Michigan, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. You're going to hear some similarities again. Number one, the lawsuit alleges that she changed no excuse mail-in voting requirements. See, in Michigan, before Benson got on scene, they used to have very strict mail-in or absentee voting guidelines that you had to prove that you needed an absentee or a mail-in ballot. You had to prove that you were unable to get to the polls. But this woman, the Secretary of State, yet again, kind of went poof. And she said, you know what, we're not going to really do that anymore. She wasn't allowed to do that. She did it anyway. Number two, and this is rich. Not only did she let anybody go online and ask for a mail-in and absentee ballot, she sent 7.7 million mail-in ballots to people who didn't ask for them. That is a violation of Michigan law. And number three, she allowed online mail-in ballot requests without signature verification. Doesn't that sound very familiar? And finally, we're going to go to the state of Wisconsin, where the Wisconsin Election Commission is named in this lawsuit. Number one, because they allowed hundreds of drop boxes to be set up all over the state, often without them being supervised. What could possibly go wrong if you do that? Right? You send in how many you want. How many you want. Not your one, which you're allowed by law to submit. Nobody's watching. La, la, la. That's the first allegation. Number 2, that the Wisconsin Election Commission encouraged voters to declare themselves indefinitely confined so that they could get mail-in ballots. Not allowed to do that. Why is your election commission allowing that and encouraging that? And number 3, that the Wisconsin Election Commission allowed clerks to add missing addresses from certification on absentee ballots. So not only are we going to allow you without proof or without reason to send in your ballot, mail in, you know what? If you don't put the correct address down, we're going to let clerks we'll let them fudge that for you. That's crazy. That's crazy. And that is what's going on in this Texas lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. Murphy says hello. So no proof of fraud, nothing to see here. Is that a fact? I don't know about that, you guys. Not even close. I want to talk to you briefly about the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. Dr. Richard Rafferty, perhaps the greatest gift you can suggest to somebody who you see hobbling around in pain because the discs in their back or their neck are bulging, they're crumbling, they're out of line. Get that no-cost consultation with Dr. Richard Rafferty at the Disc Institute of Pittsburgh. Intradisc neutrosis, that's what it's called. 98% successful, ladies and gentlemen. No surgery required. The Disc Institute of Pittsburgh will change your life. And finally, I love talking about this. How many of you small business owners are currently reassessing your IT needs? Are you looking at your website, you're thinking something needs to change, right? Or maybe some customers have noticed issues with your network connectivity. That's embarrassing. That's frightening as a small business owner. Well, this is what you need to do. You need to pick up the phone and you need to call Sierra Experts, because as an IT managed services provider, they are your one-stop shop for all of your IT needs. They offer services in network operations, network monitoring, custom-made software development, graphic design, and so much more. Sierra Experts. I love me some Sierra Experts. You guys, go to my website, please. I have one thing before I sign off. I got another challenge coin. This one is really cool. I want to show you. Oh, and I love this. Pennsylvania State Police Trooper. I have this. This is my keychain on my keys, obviously. This says 420th Engine Company, Indiana, Pennsylvania. This gentleman sends this to me. He says, Wendy, I've been in the U.S. Army for over 20 years now. I deployed to Iraq as a combat engineer 2003 to 2005. I've been a recruiter for the U.S. Army and even spent time as a guidance counselor before returning to be a combat engineer. I love this. Our company coin is included and has an engineer castle on it with a list of our unit's previous deployment locations. On the other side is Brutus the Buffalo. Yes, it is. Brutus the Buffalo, our company mascot. Our company motto, clear the way, yield to none, is also on the coin. Thank you so much. Our unit is the 420th Engineer Company, and they are a route clearance company. Thank you. I won't give you your last name, but I'm so appreciative when people send me things like this. Thank you so much to Seth. Thank you. This is going on my wall. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even going to get into, I'm going to save this. I have a story here that this is important. Selective censorship. Why? What are they so afraid of? If this country is really about the freedom of expression and the freedom of ideas and the freedom of you to choose what's right for you, then the left should have no problem having an open and honest discourse, except open and honest aren't words that you can use in the same sentence as the left. They're about fraud, about deceit, about lies, about theft, about corruption, about control. And we're seeing more and more people fighting back, standing up and fighting back. And if what's going to happen in Pennsylvania, as we suspect happens, go to your favorite small business, secure a gift certificate. Think about giving gift certificates or gift cards to friends for Christmas. Support these small businesses. They have been so royally hosed, and it's going to come again. All the while, you will be blamed because it's your fault. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm tired of being blamed for the left's corruption. Thanks for joining me. I'm Wendy Bell. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Remember to check me out on YouTube, my channel there, and also on wendybell.com. Thanks, guys. Peace.